All right, I'm going to tell you how I'm overcoming my mid back length plateau because I've already overcome the shoulder length plateau and I feel like I've got to mid back length and I've literally been here for about a year now. So let's talk about it. Literally about a year ago was when I believe I hit mid back length because at the start of the year I was doing a hair growth challenge. Obviously, it went really well because I started that year at armpit length and literally got to mid back length within about 9 months or so, right? So that was amazing. But then at the end of that year, I slacked off, started experimenting with loads of different kind of things, and I don't know what happened. Anyway, then it came to March 2025 of this year. And some of you may remember I decided to take fast and trim my own hair. That was crazy. Instead of me just doing like a normal dusting, how I typically do it, I decided to try and give myself a professional trim, which was very unprofessional. And basically, I cut off, I think the smallest amount that I cut off was 2 inches. The biggest amount I cut off was 3.5 inches. Clearly, something went wrong. Okay. So I then basically went back up to about bra strap length after that trim. And now I'm back at mid back length. So thinking about all of this, technically, I would probably say I haven't necessarily hit a plateau because, of course, my hair is still growing and I am maintaining length in a sense, but it's just the fact that I trimmed it all off and gave myself a really, really bad setback. And the problem was, I really thought that I would be hitting waist length. I really thought I'd be hitting waist length about now, but I'm literally just comfortably at mid back length. So I do feel like I am a little bit behind and I've got some catching up to do. Of course, I'm not comparing myself with anybody or anybody else's growth rate, anything like that. It's not to do with that. But you will know by now, if you watch this channel regularly, that I'm on a journey of growing my hair from shaved to tailbone length, and I aim to do that within 7 years. So if I am to hit tailbone length at the 7 year mark, then I have to hit waist length by March 2026 at the absolute latest. It is now, where are we? It's now September 2025, right? So I feel like I've got some catching up to do because of my own setback. It was my own fault. Yeah, word of caution. So I wouldn't do that again personally. What I would do is I would still continue to dust my ends because I feel that that has been working for me so far. But what I won't do is try and do a whole trim. I'll just take myself to my professional stylist. She knows me very well. She knows my hair very well. And I've never been disappointed by a trim from her. So that is my lesson learned. But anyway, here is what I'm going to be doing to fix this stage and get past this plateau length. Right, the first thing is I'm going to be changing my products. So I started this year with the intention of using only 6 products for the whole year. That was aloe vera juice, if I can remember off the top of my head, aloe vera juice, shea butter, Jamaican black castor oil, flaxseed gel, a scalp oil, and I'm missing something. Oh, African black soap shampoo. Um, I don't know whether I feel that it's the shea butter, however you say it. That basically, I just feel that my hair towards the ends is it's not as moist. It's not soaking in the moisture. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not soaking in the moisture as well as it could be if I was using a proper leave-in conditioner. And so I think that's the first thing that I'm going to change. So even though I was using a liquid, which is aloe vera juice, which is very moisturizing, but I think I still needed to be using a leave-in conditioner, not just shea butter. So that's the first thing I'm changing. I'm swapping out shea butter for a leave-in conditioner. Yeah, there's one of two different conditioners that I may be using at one time. It's the Camille Rose or the African Pride. My hair loves both of those, and I really feel it soaking into my strands. And so that's why I'm going to opt to start using those leave-in conditioners. Then the next thing I'm changing is um, I'm adding the Sunny Isle rosemary mint butter to my routine. Man, I absolutely love this butter. From the moment I got it, the first time I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best product I have ever used. The way it just soaks into my strands is crazy. Like, wow, I love it. Defines my curls. It is a very heavy product, very heavy, but I literally feel it soaking into my strands. And so I will be adding that to my routine. The only reason why I haven't done this sooner is probably a bit of poverty mentality, if I'm just going to be very frank and very honest with you. Because this product, it is the teeniest, tiniest little jar of butter. And I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I was just like, this amount and this size is not equating. It's just not working here. And so that's why I didn't want to use too much of it, because I was like, I don't want to have to keep buying this product. But I think I'm getting over that poverty mentality now, and I'm just like, if I need it, then I'm going to use it and I'm going to buy it, and it's all good. Before we get to the second point, I think it's important for me to address something. I've kind of noticed that, like, basically the importance of following hair creators, YouTube creators, whatever it is, at certain parts of their journey. So let me explain what I mean. I'm going to use the example of Indigenous Strands, right? Loads of people watching this, you're going to know who Indigenous Strands is. Her hair is absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful. It's down her knees. It's like, wow, a massive, massive, massive inspiration for us. Now, I started following her journey quite a few years ago now. And at that time, she was sharing the things that she was doing to continually grow her hair. So I think when I started following her, her hair was around about hip length, I think, maybe just reaching butt length. So she was still actively growing her hair. So the things that she was sharing were things that I could still follow, right? But she's now in a season where she is more of a moving into like the straight natural type era. And I don't know if she is actively growing her hair, or maybe she's more so just maintaining her hair. And so the what I'm trying to say is, I think it's really helpful for us to follow people who are in like a similar era to us. Either they are still growing their hair, or they have just finished growing their hair and they're sharing about how they grew their hair, rather than us following people who have finished growing their hair and they're just maybe maintaining it, or maybe they have totally different goals. For example, maybe they now have the goal of increasing its density or thickness or something like that, and whereas we're trying to increase its length. And so the things that they're sharing on their videos may not necessarily be aligned with our goal. Does that make sense? So yeah, I guess my point is just to be mindful of who we're watching and what season they are in. And I say that even about myself. If, as you're watching this content, if you realize that I am not in the same um, hair season as you, we don't have the same goals, or what I'm sharing about is not the same goal as your goal, then it's probably in your best interest to watch a different channel. As much as I absolutely love having you here, but I say that because I have your best interest at heart, in the same way I would want you to say that to me as well. So yeah, I mean, I watch Indigenous Strands just for the sheer enjoyment of it, seeing her beautiful strands and things like that. But I'm not necessarily watching in terms of learning what she is doing with her hair, because otherwise if I was, then I would have started straightening my hair every month, because I've noticed that she is blow drying her hair more often. I think she straightens it as well. So I hope that point comes across. That's just something I wanted to share. And if you do realize that you are in a similar era to me in terms of actively growing your hair, where I am also actively growing my hair, then you're welcome to click the link in the description box of this video, where I've created a guide, and it's basically about how to grow your natural hair past your plateau, past shoulder length, sorry, for the first time ever. If you've never had long hair before, I also have never had long hair before. And so that's what that guide is all about. It's helping you to grow your hair past your shoulders. So I'll leave the link in the description box, and you're welcome to get at that if you feel that we are aligned in, our goals. Okay, so the next thing that I am changing in my routine is I'm doubling down on how I protect my ends. I honestly think I have been protecting my ends very, very well, to be fair. And I guess that's why I was able to, in the first, in 2024, like I mentioned last year, I was able to get from armpit length to mid back length so quickly, because I am protecting my ends well. And then again, the fact that I've trimmed off my hair just a few months ago and got back to bra strap length, but now I'm back at mid back length, that does tell me, it does indicate that I am protecting my ends well. So I'm going to continue doing what I am doing. But two things that I have recently changed, and I'm going to continue to do these because I really feel that they're working. One of them is definitely applying flaxseed gel without fail. Like, I don't know how many times I've spoken about this on my channel, but I do love using flaxseed gel, and I know my hair loves it. The only problem is sometimes I'm just a bit inconsistent with it. So my aim is definitely for the next 4 months, I'm going to be using flaxseed gel on my ends without fail. Then the next one I have spoke about on one video, which is I'm going to be banding my hair, and then like banding the ends with a silk, I don't know if it's silk or satin, with a scrunchie, and then tucking the ends in. That's something quite new, the way I'll be banding the ends of my hair and then tucking that in. So that's the second kind of big change that I'll be making, to get past this mid back length plateau. And then the third one of the things that I want to do is to increase the thickness of my hair. For this, I'm going to be deep conditioning a bit more often. Well, a lot more often. I'm going to be deep conditioning every wash day, but instead of only using deep conditioner, I'll be putting in a little bit of henna powder as well. It's actually Henna and Amla. So I'll be using a bit of that powder mixed in with the deep conditioner, and I think a bit of aloe vera juice probably. And that's how I'm going to be increasing the thickness. So that probably doesn't massively contribute to me getting over the plateau. But I think in terms of the fact that I'll be deep conditioning more often, that is going to help. And then lastly, is that I'll be taking MSM either orally, or I'll be spraying it topically on my hair more often. So those are the 4 things that I'll be doing, certainly for the rest of the year, for the last 4 months, in order to retain as much length as possible, still try and hit waist length by the end of the year, because that was my goal in January and I haven't quite got to it yet. But there's still time. There is still time for the rest of the year. So I'm going to be aiming to report back to you at the end of these 4 months, and I'm going to let you know if I notice a difference. I am quite looking forward to giving myself this bit of a challenge. And to be fair, this is a challenge that I have made widely available. We're going hard for the last 4 months of the year, rather than just either forgetting our hair goals, or rather than putting them off, or rather than meeting those hair goals and just kind of, slacking off towards the end of the year, like what I did last year. For the rest of the year, we're going hard. So this is a challenge that I invite you to join, particularly if you're maybe in a place like me, it feels like you've got to a bit of a plateau length, or maybe you're just kind of having a few problems with your hair. Maybe you're new to hair growth, whatever the reason is, you can join in this 4-month challenge. It's called the Finish Strong Length Retention Challenge 2025. And if you are interested in joining that challenge, if you want to totally and drastically just have a real solid routine for the rest of the year, then the video that's on the screen now is the video that you're going to want to watch next, where I'm talking through with you all about the challenge. So I'll see you over there on that video, and all the rest with your hair journeys for the rest of the year.